Okay, so good morning. Uh, so today we'll start with ethics in private and personal relationships. Sorry, private and public relationships. This topic is there in the first unit, ethics and human interface. Now we all know that human beings are social animals, and because they are social animals, they interact with each other, and when they interact with each other, certain relationships are established. Okay, these relationships can be categorized under two headings, personal and public, and when these relations are established, a society is formed. Okay, and the health of society depends upon what? The strength, the quality of relations that are established among the people residing in it. Okay, in fact, yesterday we discussed about social capital. Social capital is directly related to the quality and quantity of relations that is there among people. Okay, so you can add this particular perspective of social capital also in it. In fact, Gandhiji has also given a lot of stress on the kind of relationships people share with each other. In fact, he has said that a non-violent society is only possible if four principles are followed in all kind of relationships. He has talked about four kind of principles. Okay, what are these four principles? Gandhiji ka, if you want to add Gandhian perspective in it, you can say four things are there. The first is respect. Okay. Second is appreciation. Third is acceptance. And fourth is understanding. Understanding. Okay, so these are the four principles of good relationships as per Mahatma Gandhi. Okay, how respect, if you have to explain these 4 points, how will you explain them? How respect is important in relationships? Basically respect, like usually people, they start taking their relatives, their friends for granted. Okay, like we start taking granted our parents. Like parents have the duty to rear us. Okay, to care for us. Okay, and we stop giving respect to them. Same goes with the spouse also. We stop respecting her or him. Okay, both cases are possible. Right, especially understanding. Understanding is also very important. We do not become empathetic towards other people. Okay, like one culture, like For example, Hindu, Muslims, all these clashes, riots, all these things are happening. Why? Because understanding is not there. We are not empathetic towards each other. Third is acceptance. Okay, acceptance is very important. Like as you said, homogeneity. Yes, yes. Excuse me, you. Yesterday you said, no, homogeneity of values must be there. Why homogeneity? Why don't we just accept the diversity in people that is around us? Okay, in fact, this is the concept which is followed in Germany. They see opportunity in diversity. Like if people will be diverse, they will bring diverse opportunities, diverse qualities on the table. Okay, and these diversities can be used to provide more choices to the people. Okay, so accept what is there around you rather than just trying to change it. Okay, and finally appreciation. Appreciation is also very, very important. Like in public organization, what happens? Employers, they usually do not appreciate their employees. Okay, same goes in families also. No appreciation is shown. I mean, suppose like homemakers, most of the women in India are homemakers. Okay, their work is not appreciated by their family, right? So even good food is very important for the life of all the members in family. Okay, so all these four principles are very important. Got it? If you are writing anything, you must be able to explain it also. Got it? So this is the Gandhian perspective. Now we'll discuss about these personal and public relations separately. Okay, the first is personal relations. Now what are personal relations? लिख लो चलो. Personal relations. क्या होते हैं personal relations? Every relation is with other only. Relations that we usually share with our family and friends. Okay, blood relations basically are there. Like your parents have the strongest biological claim over you. Okay, they are closest to you. Then your cousins, then second cousins, then your friends are there. All these things comes under personal relationships, and these relationships are highly informal in nature. Okay, I mean internal locus of control is there. Are you getting? I mean, someone outside will not decide that what kind of relationship you will have with your father. Okay, it is only you and your father will decide that what kind of relationship, what kind of etiquettes or values you will show in this relation. Okay, so internal locus of control is there. Highly informal in nature and internal locus of control. These things are there. Are you getting my point? Okay, now ethics in personal relations. Three factors impact ethics in personal relations. First is emotions. Second is personal interest. And third is morality. Sometimes morality is dominated by the emotions of a person in a private relationship. Okay, like many times you do wrong things just for your, let's say, just for your kids, for your children. Okay, you still haven't reached that stage, but usually people do that. I am doing it for my children. Okay, suppose your friend is there, you are a principal of a college and your very close friend is there. He come and ask you to give admission to his daughter. Okay, certainly emotions are going to be there. Okay, so emotions. Then personal interest. Your personal interest is also there. Like you usually won't have a very long fight with your best friend because he or she knows everything about you. Okay. Are you getting my point? Personal interest. When someone close to you dies, why you cry? क्यों रोते हो? It is not because that other person has died, it is because now the role that that guy was fulfilling in your life, now that role has become vacant. Okay, again it's your personal interest. Now that person is not there to support you in your difficult times. Are you getting my point? So personal interest is very important. Okay, I mean love for father increases, especially if he is very rich. Okay, so personal interest. And third and most important factor is morality. Okay, it is not the ethics or laws prevailing in the society, but your morality that will impact your personal relationships. Morality आएगा ना, your own conscience will come, will be at the center while interacting with the people with whom you share personal relations. होगा कि नहीं होगा? Morality होगा या फिर social ethics होगा? Morality will play the role. Okay. So personally, are you getting my point? Like Ramayana, for example. Ramayana is a classic example of ethics in personal relations only. What Ramayana depicts? क्या करती है Ramayana? क्या है Ramayana? It's all about ideal relationships between a son and a father, a son and mother, okay, between two brothers, okay, between two friends, example, Sugriv and Rama, okay, between master and servant, Lord Hanuman and Shri Ram. So, ideal enemies also. Okay, so all these things, Ramayana is all about personal relations. Okay, one more thing, personal relations, ethics in personal relation is more important or public relation is more important? Personal. Why personal? It has an edge because personal relations form before public relations. Okay, and you are not born with a morality. Till now we have discussed that morality impacts personal relations. But can I say that personal relations can also impact your morality? In fact, your morality is formed within the context of personal relations that you have. Okay, like when you are a chicken and egg kind of causation is there. Both of them comes from each other. Okay, like for example, a child learns to lie, like he lies to his parents for not going to school. Or let's say he takes some money from his friend and do not return it back. Okay, the first time when he will show such behavior, some guilt will be there that I have lied to my parents. Okay, but when this thing will be done again, what will happen? The amount of guilt will be low. Third time, again low. And finally, after 7 or 8 times, it will become the habit of that person. Okay, and then the same thing will be shown in public relations also. In that 3 Idiot movie में दिखाया ना कि corruption हम family में ही सीखते हैं. We learn corruption in family only. Father will give you, let's say, वो नई cycle या video game. It will only come when you will score above 90% in exam. Okay, so it's a kind of corruption only. And the same thing is then shown in public relations also. Okay, so ethics in personal relations are very important. In fact, most of the moral setup of a person is decided in the first 10 years of life only. पहले 10 साल में सब decide हो जाता है. Then it is very difficult to change the value system. That is why value education, especially in primary education, has been given a lot of importance. Okay, friends आपके, I mean, the friends, they really impact your life. Okay, like it is said that a friend is a witness of your early life. Okay, he is a witness of your early life. Okay, he knows everything about you. Why you feel so comfortable with your, especially your school friends? सोचा है कभी? Why? Familiarity से ज़्यादा है defense mechanism नहीं होता. You don't have to put any defense mechanism in front of your friends. अभी यहाँ पर हम सबके एक डिफेंस मैकेनिज्म है. आई एम नॉट लाइक my natural tendency is a bit different than what I am presenting right now. Okay, you guys are also showing some seriousness, all those things. So basically, all of you people are putting up certain defense mechanisms. Okay, mechanisms that will defend your ego. Okay, but that thing is not there when you are sitting with your close friends. वहाँ पे सब खुला है एकदम. There is no persona, there is no mask in front of them, and that is why you feel so comfortable. Okay, so friends also play a very important part in your life. Okay, so ethics in personal relations. I hope you have understood this thing. Okay, just write 2-3 lines in it. Private relations largely involve relations with family and friends. They are informal in nature. As no formal procedure is there to regulate such relations. These are one-to-one relations. Based on emotional bond. And in most cases, expression of individual personality is there. Internal control is there on ethical behavior. Rather than external controls, internal control is there. Rather than external controls in the form of laws, rules and regulations. Ethics in private relations can differ widely from person to person. Ethics in private relations can differ widely from person to person. And are often influenced by the morality, emotional state, and personal interest of the person involved in such relationships. Okay, just 2 more lines. Ethics shown in private relations often forms a major part of morality. And in any society, morality forms the basis for ethical behavior. Morality forms the basis of ethical behavior in public relations. Examples दे सकते हैं ethics का, what ethics are there in personal relations or ethics or values. What should be there between husband and wife? Transparency. Okay. Respect, honesty. Okay. Fidelity, accountability. Yes. It usually happens from one side though. Okay. Equality must be shown. Right. Dedication must be there. Got it? Basically, ethics of care. Okay. Ethics of care rather than ethics of justice. Ethics of justice comes under public relations, whereas ethics of care is in private relations. Okay. So these are personal relations. Now ethics in public relationships. Public relationships. Yes, what are public relations? आउटर वर्ल्ड तो वो भी आ गया. हाँ, प्रोफेशनल सर्कल. बेसिकली दे एग्जिस्ट एट मेनी लेवल. Okay, like basically these are formal relations that we share with those which are outside our personal sphere. Okay, उसके outside जो है personal sphere के, right? Like the relation between three organs of government, executive, legislature and judiciary. Their relation is not decided by the whims and fancies of a bureaucrat or a judge, but they are decided by a formal code of conduct. Okay, in our case it is the constitution which decides the relationship between these three organs. Okay, so there is a formal way, there is a uniformity, there is a continuity in the relation in public relationships. Okay, other examples or examples दो और थोड़ा सा स्पेसिफिक हो जाओ. Like for example in profession, like relation between you and me, it's a professional relation. Okay, like a judge and a lawyer, the way they behave with each other. Okay, again a kind of professional relation is there. Okay, just make a reference of social contract. Social contract theory given by Hobbes. Okay, we'll discuss it later, but I mean I'm providing it as it will help you to connect the dots, to interrelate things. Okay. Now the kind of ethics you will show in public relations, what will impact it? Who will decide? Society. Basically ethics which are prevailing in the society or in a particular organization or let's say some institution. Okay, like international level for example, public relations at international level. Who decide them? Countries are there, international bodies are there. Like in Indian context, what's the doctrine? Panchsheel doctrine. Okay, or let's say non-alignment movement is also there. Right, UN Charter is there. Again at Universal Declaration of Human Rights, all those things, refugee policies, international conventions, all these things will decide the ethics in public relationships at international level. Okay, social level is there, organizational level is there, national level is there, different levels are there. Okay, so this simple idea is there. Just 2 lines about public relationships and then we will discuss the relation between public and private relations. Public relations involve relations between individuals in public sphere where individuals perceive themselves where individuals perceive themselves as part of a context, and not as separate entities. These relations are predictable and formal in nature. Ethics shown in such relations are often influenced by the norms, values and behavior prevailing in a particular society or organization. Where? Bureaucracy in British times, bureaucracy now. See, I mean, till now we have discussed personal relations and public relations separately. Okay. However, distinguishing between public and personal relations is highly ambiguous. In fact, it is highly vague and difficult to completely separate them. In fact, these relations, they do not exist in watertight compartments. Usually what we see is a mix of public and personal relationships. In fact, most of the relations, they lie somewhere in between rather than at the extremes. Like for example, Romeo and Juliet, he Ranja. I mean, extreme love was there between them. They had nothing to do with the world. Okay, so that was a highly personal relations, but they are highly exceptional cases. Same here at public relation, like saying hello to a stranger. Okay, like in European countries, you will certainly find this practice. If somebody is coming from the opposite side in the morning, you are taking a morning walk, you will just say hello as a courtesy. Or let's say you are traveling in a bus and conductor comes to you for a ticket. Okay, so that small interaction, that can be a completely public relation. हरियाणा में तो वो भी पर्सनल हो जाता है, चाचा काकी वो सब हो जाता है. Okay, so bureaucracy in British times, highly public in nature. They had no such personal interactions with the people. So somewhere, इसको भी मैं extreme पे नहीं डालूंगा, somewhere here. Bureaucracy now is here, more personal in nature. Okay, in fact, conflict of interest कब आता है? The conflict of interest comes when the bureaucrat is not able to balance his public and private relations. From there, conflict of interest will arise. Okay, many times we see that public relation becomes a personal relation. Is it possible? Friendship with our clients, like for example, relation between you and me, completely started as a completely professional relation, but let's say some respect, some regard will come in. Okay, maybe in future. So this thing is there. Sometimes personal relation becomes a public relation. Example.
Wife working as your subordinate in a company.
Sorry?
Your wife or relative working as a subordinate in a company.
Okay, yes. Or like many times there is no love and regard between husband and wife. They are just living together because society expects them to live together. Okay, so just on the surface it's a personal relation, but actually it is a public relation. Okay, many times these relations conflict with each other. You see that judges, they are accused from a case. Judges, they are accused from the case. Why? हाँ, किन है या फिर they have some interest, they have some relation with one of the conflicting parties. Okay, so I mean these relations are highly ambiguous. कोई इसमें watertight compartment नहीं है. Okay, they just keep interchanging. Like Alex Paul Menon, he's an IAS officer in Chhattisgarh. In 2013, he was abducted by Maoist. Okay, he had a very strong relations with the tribal population there. Okay, so what he used to do, he used to visit these tribal areas without much security, and it was during this time only he was abducted. Okay, so many times this personal bonding is formed. Like your first posting, when you will, the sandwich course is there in the academy. After 7 or 8 months in academy, you will be placed as a probationer in one of the districts. So that basically is your first posting, and you develop a personal bond with it. Okay, so public personal relations. Similarly, ethics in public and private relations also interact with each other. Okay, let me discuss this relationship. This is very important. Ethics in personal relationships influenced by your morality. Ethics in public relations basically influenced by social and organizational norms and values, or ethics. This can also be seen as a conflict between morality and ethics. Huh. Ethics become the public part. A very important relation. Conformity and group decision making. कोई confusion है पूछ लो.
Conformity is the only thing that drives group decision.
Collectivist society, nature of society also can influence this thing. Religion can also derive it. Okay. Stagnation, curb, C-U-R-B, curb original thinking and new ideas. Conformity and group decision making. Start करें. You can see it as a debate between morality and ethics. Now, if harmony is there between morality and ethics, what will happen? I mean, what you considered personally as right, socially also it is considered as right. What will happen? It will lead to peace and stability in society. Okay, mental, physical and emotional well-being will be there. Okay, like you are an honest person. The organization in which you work, there also honesty is appreciated. Okay, certainly well-being will be there, development will be there. However, too much harmony is also bad for a society and organization. Kaise? How? Because it leads to stagnation, it leads to absence of new ideas. Like what happened in pre-Renaissance era in Europe. Europe में क्या होता था before Renaissance? Church was highly influential in nature. Okay, so what people used to do? They always try to maintain harmony with the church. And in order to maintain this harmony, they used to kill innovation. They used to kill creativity. You know the case of Galileo? What happened? His idea was not promoted. In fact, he was put under house arrest when he came up with his idea of heliocentric theory rather than geocentric theory proposed by the church. Church ने geocentric theory दिया था that earth is at the center, whereas Galileo said that sun is at the center. कहा था? नहीं आइडिया. हाँ, कॉपरनिकस का आइडिया था, बट इट वॉज प्रोपिगेटेड बाय गैलीलियो. गैलीलियो को डाला था हाउस अरेस्ट में. आइडिया कॉपरनिकस का ही था. यस. ओके, दिस हैपेंड. नाउ what बहुत multiple examples are there in this regard. और examples दो. Many rationalists have been killed in the last 2 years. Pansare, Dabholkar, Kalburgi, abhi few months back this Gauri Lankesh. Okay, why these people got killed? They were voicing against the basic norms which are prevailing in the society. And because of these conservative elements, these voices were curbed. They were in fact silenced. A fatwa was issued against Salman Rushdie for his satanic verses. Why? Because it was against the basic norms of a particular society. Okay. M.F. Hussain, you people know. Okay. Banning of books is also there, yes. You can give examples in that regard also. Padmavat, yes. See, all these people, Sanjay Leela Bhansali, M.F. Hussain, all these people have this artistic license with them. Okay, they have this freedom of expression with them. Okay, and why people are just protesting, they are getting beaten up. In fact, M.F. Hussain was living in self-imposed exile only because of those nude pictures of God and goddesses. Okay, even when they are part of Indian culture, in Khajuraho we can see these things. Okay, so why these things are happening? Harmony ke liye. If there is no fight between husband and wife, you can say that something is wrong, something is fishy. Fight is very important, conflict is necessary. Okay, but too much harmony can lead to all these problems. Please do understand this point, it is very important. In fact, this thing shows the importance of eccentrics in society. What do you mean by eccentrics?
Different from the mainstream.
Who think different from the mainstream, who have this a bit divergent behavior, who go against the flow. Okay, and in fact the betterment, the development of society depends upon these eccentrics only, because they question the establishment. Intra-party, yes, bilkul, group decision making. Like in what is happening in BJP. Anyone who is speaking against Narendra Modi, he is quashed. He is thrown out of party. या फिर उनको कौन सा मंडल था? मार्गदर्शक मंडल में भेज दिया जाता है. Yes. Okay. So this is happening. Are you getting this point? This is very important. Eccentrics are very important for every society. And the present society is aversive to eccentrics. Okay. ज़्यादा हार्मनी अच्छा नहीं होता. Got it? अब देखो conflict आएगा. Suppose conflict is there between morality and ethics. It will lead to some unrest and confusion inside you. Now, if this unrest and confusion is dealt properly, okay, proper reasoning, proper logic is shown, it will lead to socio-cultural reforms and development of society. Like Indian Renaissance. Raja Ram Mohan Roy kaun the? He was an eccentric only. Okay, but he continued his fight, and because of that a positive change took place in Indian society. Ambedkar also was an eccentric. Okay, so all of them, they led to a change in society. Gandhiji also, yes, was an eccentric, yes. He came up with some innovative ideas. Right. But if this unrest and confusion is not dealt properly, what will happen? It will lead to disintegration of society. The legitimacy of the government will get challenged. There will be anarchy and chaos. Anna Hazare movement. Okay, कुछ positive इसमें डालते हैं example के अंदर, but right now I cannot put it in this part, क्योंकि because there is no लोकपाल. Okay, practically कोई लोकपाल नहीं है. Right? Arab Spring can be used as an example here. All these countries, Yemen, Libya, Tunisia, Egypt, I mean all of them have been destroyed because of this conflict between ethics and morality. फ्रेंच रेवोल्यूशन इधर आ जाएगा ना.
Initially there was a lot of chaos.
हाँ, initially yes, some chaos will be there, but finally development will take place.
Russian Revolution के बाद.
हाँ, ये इसमें डाल सकते हैं. yes. Okay, are you understanding this whole diagram? You can put many examples in this regard. Or the concept is also nice. It can be used at many places also. Okay, I'm just trying to widen your gaze. Are you getting my point? Just increase the number of perspectives you people have. Usually people think that harmony should be there, but too much harmony is bad. ठीक है? Just write 2-3 lines here. Distinguishing between ethics.
Suppose there is a question on distinction between ethics and moral.
Yes. See, it's a very simple, basic question. It won't be asked. So basically, some derivative will be asked. Okay. So basically, they can ask the relation between them. Okay, or let's say they can ask conflict between them or harmony between them also. So in those cases, this diagram can be used. Okay. इसके ऊपर I will give you one question also. Okay, I will show you that how questions can be framed. Distinguishing between ethics in public and private relations is vague, ambiguous and difficult. Both of them cannot be divided in watertight compartments. They consistently interact and affect each other. Ethics in private relations helps in humanizing public relations and plays an important role in forming humanizing public relations and plays an important role in forming the moral system of a person. Conflict, next paragraph, conflict between ethics in public and private relations may lead to unrest, dissonance and confusion. However, too much can lead to unrest, dissonance and confusion. However, too much congruence of ethics in private and public relations may lead to stagnation of ideas and change. Okay, who is defining public relations is also very important, like Taliban in Afghanistan, okay, like RSS in India, Okay, if they will define what kind of ethics should be there in public and private relations, then the life will become very difficult. Okay, the whole thing will become conservative. Okay, so ये भी एक issue है. Now one question, huh?
Public morality per se is created by the constituents also, and also at times is top-down driven.
Yes, yes, top-down driven, yes, certainly. Through law you can change the public morality. I will come to that part. जब laws, ethics and morality. Right now I am talking about two dimensions, ethics and morality. Later on, third dimension, law will also get added. And then finally, a middle one, code of conduct and code of ethics will be there. Okay. Like one quote is there that a lot of people have culturally induced ethical blindness. If you want to write, a lot of people have culturally induced ethical blindness. Comma, but they can be cured. Yes. I mean UPSC may ask this question अगर स्टैंडर्ड अच्छा रखेंगे तो. क्या मीनिंग है? Are you understanding this point? Culturally induced ethical blindness.
For example, like the RSS which you gave, like some group of people, they believe that they are the rescue of society, and to them whatever ethics they have in their mind, they can impose on the people.
Yes.
Coercion of morality these things. But some elements in, because if you do not try to conform to those rules and try to stand by our policies, cure.
Yes, yes, certainly, certainly. But for that, what is required? Courage. Intellectual courage is required. Dissent होना चाहिए, but rebellion नहीं होना चाहिए, dissent होना चाहिए. Okay. Problems, can you give me examples in this regard? Moral policing आ जाता है जैसे, yes, like intercaste marriages.
Ethical blindness here per se means we know some wrongdoings happening around us.
Yes.
Or we don't follow it.
We don't follow because we are unable to look into the ethical dimension of a particular event. Okay, because this is how we have been socialized. Like for example, domestic help. I mean, most of us have this one Raju or Chotu in our homes. Okay, child labor तो illegal है India में, but still it is there. It is practiced in each and every household. Okay, why? Because we are ethically blind towards it. Jallikattu is an example of it. It's a part of culture, and culture has blinded us. We are not looking into the moral dimension of this particular act of Jallikattu. Cow vigilantism, okay, yes, yes, you can give that example also, yes. We forget that different people have different food habits, and we cannot impose our food habits on others. Khat panchayats, yes, very good example. Dowry. Dowry क्या है? It's a case of ethical blindness only, because it's a part of culture, we are doing it.
Culturally induced fear per se means when we say कि ये तो ऐसे ही होता है.
हाँ, ऐसे ही होता है, yes. ऐसे ही होता आ रहा है, and ऐसे ही होगा. चलता है attitude, yes. So culturally induced ethical blindness. We are blind towards these things. Caste discrimination, female infanticide. All these problems are there.
But then this kind of thinking is criticized as saying that we are we are importing some universal values of what.
Everything must, if just because it is important, we can't say that it is bad. Okay, our constitution is also have been taken from these imported values only.
For example, in Jallikattu case,
हाँ.
the Supreme Court, so they are going to argue, right, that this is an integral part of the culture. So,
See, again, sati was also once the integral part of our culture only. Untouchability was also the integral part only. But with evolutions of societies, things must change. We are becoming more and more civilized now. पहले वो barbarian वाला culture था, so that was also a culture at that time. It was correct at that time, but now it is not correct. Okay, so things must change. We must become more and more empathetic towards each other. ठीक है. In fact, Jallikattu पे तो 2 pages have been given in your notes. Okay. आपका जो बुकलेट है उस पे देखना Jallikattu का डिबेट. Right. So essay can also be asked in this regard. Okay. So I hope this thing is clear now. Let's move to the next topic. Human values, role of family, society and educational institutions in inculcating values. Now values we have already discussed. What are values? लिखो, चलो लिख लो फटाफट जो भी लिखना है. Something desirable, something which is important to us, something which helps us to choose our preferences. Okay, what do we prefer? It will depend upon our value system. Okay, and we are not born with a particular value system. Okay, in fact there is one saying also that there is nothing called a self-made man. We are made up of thousands of others. There is nothing called a self-made man. We are made up of thousands of others. What do you mean by this?
Our personality is socially shaped.
I mean society, the people with whom we interact, our personality takes some components from these people. In fact, one more saying is there that a man is the average of 5 people around him. Okay, the 5 individuals who are closest to you. Okay, you are the average of all of them. Okay, so basically these statements, these quotes showcase the formation of human values. Okay, now just write page number 38 and 39 of section A booklet in your notes. You have to read this topic from there only. (38, 39). You have to read them. I mean, it's supplementary in nature. Lot of facts are there. Okay, some distinct. In between, also write some distinct features of values. Distinct features of values. First is, values are comprehensive standards. Values are comprehensive standards that direct conduct in a variety of ways. Values are comprehensive standards that direct conduct in a variety of ways. Second, values also provide standards of morality. Third, values are above specific objects. Values are above specific objects, situations, or people. Okay, have you understood this point?
It is independent of the context.
It is independent of the context. Like if you have justice as a value, okay, then it means that you will be just to everyone. Okay, towards different sex, towards different caste, towards different class, everywhere. Okay, but if I say that being just is your attitude, okay, then attitude is specific to a particular context. It means that you are just to a particular caste, let's say, or to gender, or to class. Are you getting my point? That's the difference between attitude and value. Value is highly general in nature and is independent of context. Okay. Next point. हाँ.
We say that ethics is derived from value.
ये तो हमने कहा ही है. Ethics is not derived. Basically, ethics are part of values only. Ethics is a type of value. Okay. One last point you can write. Values are relatively stable and enduring. Values are relatively stable and enduring. Only a very intense incident in life, can change the value structure of a person. Can change the value structure of a person. That is why so much focus has been there on value education, especially in the early years of life, in the first 10 years. Can you give me examples where value change has taken place? Any personality? कहाँ हुआ उनका value change?
Initially, it's considered little racist while it was in South Africa. I used to call blacks as kafirs and all that. And later
ये एक सब कंट्रोवर्शियल है थोड़ा सा, और वो महात्मा गांधी अगेन सेक्रेड काउ वाला कॉन्सेप्ट आ जाता है. यू कांट से एनीथिंग बैड अबाउट हिम. अशोका इज वेरी आफ्टर दैट वॉर ऑफ कलिंगा, अशोका कैन बी अ गुड एग्जांपल. और दो एग्जांपल, खाली अशोका से नहीं चलेगा.
Buddha when he saw the suffering.
वाल्मीकि, यस, वाल्मीकि, यस. बुद्धा, यस, इंटेंस नहीं था वो शुरू से. ही वाज शोइंग दोस टेंडेंसीज. बुद्धा से इनफैक्ट यू कैन गिव एग्जांपल ऑफ एक डेकॉइट का स्टोरी है, अंगुली मार. हाँ, वो वाला एग्जांपल दो आप. व्हेन ही केम अंडर द इन्फ्लुएंस ऑफ बुद्धा, हिज लाइफ चेंज, हिज वैल्यू सिस्टम चेंज. अंगुली मार का कहानी सुना है? He was basically a dacoit in the forest of Magdas. But when he came under the influence, वो उंगली काट लेता था लोगों की. अरे नहीं सुनी कहानी बचपन में? जातका स्टोरीज कि अंदर भी दिस थिंग इज देयर. He used to wear them, okay, in order to create fear in the mind of people. हाँ, yes, yes, वो जो जैन monk के क्या था वो? बुद्धिज्म का था. यस, बुद्धिज्म का था. यस. एक रीसेंट एग्जांपल देता हूँ, पान सिंह तोमर. यू हैव हर्ड हिज नेम? पान सिंह तोमर, मूवी भी आया था. ही वॉज इन आर्मी, मेडल भी जीता था, बट लेटर ऑन ही बिकम अ रिबेलियन. ओके, चेंज ऑफ वैल्यू सिस्टम. लाइक यूथ in J&K. I mean, youth, they are joining these terrorist organization. I mean, some intense incident happens in their life. Let's say their family members are shot by army. इस तरीके का कुछ होता है. So, like for example, that particular guy who was tied on that jeep. Okay, so intense incident था, वो terrorist बन जाएगा. Okay, that is why such things are criticized. Okay, in order to stop or in order to just catch 4 or 5 criminals or 4 or 5 terrorists, you create 10 more terrorists. Okay, so intense incident in life. Then different types of values are there. Okay, we have discussed this thing earlier also. First class types of values बताओ as per the content. अरे कहाँ पहुंचे, कंफ्यूजन हो गया. एस्थेटिक वैल्यूज, प्रोफेशनल वैल्यूज, पॉलिटिकल, इकोनॉमिक, रिलीजियस वैल्यूज आर देयर. Different types of values. Okay, another way is there to define them: terminal values and instrumental values, or means values and end oriented values. I mean, these things can come as 5 markers in your exam. Values which are attached to ends and values which are attached to means. Okay, like fraternity, it's a mean value or an end value? Mean value है. Okay, equality end value है. Okay, but see, this differentiation is not very, I mean, आप ये नहीं कह सकते कि permanent है. It can keep on changing. Many times equality can become a mean value. Okay, like equality is a mean value if development is the end. Okay. Similarly, another classification is there: core values and peripheral values, or core values and surface values. Like it is said that every human being has 4 or 5 core values, and all other values that he shows are the manifestation of these core values only. Like if you have love in your heart, okay, then it will be a core value, and what will be surface values attached to it? Kindness, empathy, compassion, forgiveness, tolerance. These are all the manifestation of core value of love. Okay, so all these things are given in a very detailed manner in your notes जो booklet आपको दिया है. Right, so just a basic introduction to values. One more topic is given in your notes: value crisis in India. Okay, that thing is also very important. An essay can come on it. Right, now what are the sources of values? Sources क्या है? Okay, I mean, these are the sources only. Basically your environment. Okay, earlier we have discussed both genetics and environment play an important role. Okay, but if I say that which one is more important, I will say environment plays a more important role. Okay, because a tendency is shown by an individual because of his genetics, but final determination will be there because of environment only. Okay, so just 2-3 lines about it. Sources of values, how you can make the introduction. Value development is a continuous cumulative and highly interdependent process.
What is the second word?
Cumulative. Cumulative, we have different pronunciations are there. Cumulative and highly and highly interdependent process touching all the aspects of personality. Factors which affect the value structure of an individual can be both natural as well as environmental. However, it is the environment which plays the most important role. In developing the value structure of a person. Okay, now there is one theory also which was given by Lawrence Kohlberg. Okay, it is there on page 40 of your booklet. Basically, he was an American psychologist, and he came up with this theory of moral development, that how morality develops among children. Okay, basically it's the psychological explanation of why be moral. Okay, in the first class we discussed the social context in which we can describe why be moral, because of the consequences. Yesterday we discussed the philosophical context, and today I am discussing the psychological context, and it was given by Lawrence Kohlberg, page 40. Okay, basically he divided the whole development of morality inside a person into 6 distinct stages, and these 6 distinct stages were again categorized under 3 headings: pre-conventional, conventional and post-conventional. Examples लेते हैं, साथ में explain हो जाएगा. Like for example, आप अपने life से attach करो. He also studied his own child. Okay, tell me why a child behave ethically between the age of, let's say, 0 to 4 or 0 to 3, you can say.
He's mostly under observation, and immediate feedback is given.
Basically obedience, you can say. Direct instructions are given by the parents and the child has to abide them. And there is a fear of punishment. Fear of punishment is there. So the first stage is obedience and punishment orientation. Only punishment. Okay. Then from 3 to 9. Why? See, at this age, 0 to 3, he doesn't have any understanding of what ethics and morals are. Zero understanding. He is just like an animal. Animal ही तो है. Biological. He is just a nascent biological entity who is just abiding by your decisions. Okay. So fear of dog होता है ना जैसे. I mean fear of punishment is there. Right. Then between 0 to 9, why he behaves ethically? अब रिवॉर्ड आ जाता है कि चुपचाप बैठो, चॉकलेट मिलेगा. Right. Now self-interest orientation comes. Now also child doesn't have any idea of ethics and morality. Just because I am getting a reward, I will behave ethically. You getting my point? 0 to 9 आ गया. Now he comes to senior secondary or higher, उसमें primary खत्म हो गया, secondary उसमें आ गया. Now tell me, when you are in class 8th or 9th, why you behave ethically? Social approval, or let's say conformity, or let's say interpersonal accord, or one can say good boy attitude or good girl attitude. Star मिलेगा मुझे. I will be praised by other people, that is why I will behave ethically. Still you don't have any idea of what ethics and morals are. ठीक है. फिर अब आप कॉलेज के अंदर आ गए. कॉलेज में why you behave ethically? Why you do not jump the red light? पुलिस वाला पकड़ लेगा. Okay, basically authority and social order maintenance. Okay, I mean in your school, in your college, you have never thought about being ethical and moral. Okay, you are doing it just because it is in the benefit of yours only. Okay, social order है, law and order है, अगर नहीं पकड़ेंगे तो there will be a fine. So just because the social order must be maintained, you are following ethics. Then you people come for the preparation of civil services, and you reach the third stage, that is post-conventional stage. Very few, I mean Kohlberg has also said that only 10 to 15% reaches this third stage. Okay, बाकी सब usually, I mean why people behave ethically? क्योंकि law and order है. यही होता है ना, 80 to 90% behave like this only. But very few people reach this fifth state. There they realize the idea of social contract. Okay, that all of us have signed an invisible social contract in which we have sacrificed some of our rights so that our remaining rights can be safeguarded. They can be protected. They start understanding the rationality of being ethical. Okay, but still it is confined within a particular society only. And then the final stage is universal ethical principles. Okay, now you have transcended those particular boundaries of your nation and society. Now you are looking at universal principles. Now you are looking at humanity. Now you have completely internalized the idea of ethics and morality, and you are behaving. वो युधिष्ठिर वाला stage आ गया कि I am behaving ethically because this is what I am and this is what I must do. And very few people, वो महात्मा गांधी टाइप लोग ही stage पे पहुंचते हैं. Okay. In fact, he also gave an example of Heinz dilemma. It is given in your booklet also. Heinz dilemma. Heinz is a name of person. Basically, his wife is very ill. Example has been given. His wife is very ill. She is suffering from some form of cancer. Okay. There is only one medicine which can cure her. Now, when Mr. Heinz, he reached the chemist at which he will get the medicine, he found that the cost of medicine is very high. In fact, that pharmacist, he is charging more than 10 times of the actual cost of that medicine. But because he has the intellectual property right, he can ask whatever amount he wants. Okay, but Heinz doesn't have the money. He says that I will give you 50%, rest 50 later, but again, pharmacist, he completely declined this offer. Later on, he broke into the shop and stole the medicine. Okay, this is a case. Now tell me whether his action was right or wrong. Wrong. Your answer will decide the stage of your moral development. This was the formula of Heinz. अगर आप wrong कह रहे हैं, it means you are at the fourth stage, law and order वाला stage के ऊपर हो. Are you getting my idea? तो ये है. Whether, or you can give a choice also that he has stolen the medicine, but later on he can surrender to the police. Okay, वो भी fourth stage ही है because law and order maintenance है. Okay, but if you give up with a solution that he can pay later on, okay, or he can pay with the interest, okay, and a letter of apology, unknown letter के नाम से उसको check भेज देंगे, then you can say that now you have reached the 5th or 6th level. Are you getting my point? So ये है सारा. It is very interesting actually, and it also gives the reasons for why be moral in different stages of life. Okay, so Heinz dilemma, इस तरीके के बहुत dilemmas आते हैं. Okay, and see many people they will give you very बहुत ही hypothetical और बहुत ही अजीबोगरीब स्टडी केस स्टडीज दे देंगे, and they will ask you to write answers. See, they are not case studies, they are not moral dilemmas, they are what we call moral tragedies. Are you getting my point? जैसे एक केस आ गया, okay, a train, it's a railway track, a train is coming, okay, now one person is, your wife is tied, wife होगा तो फिर तो pillar इधर ही आएगा, not wife, okay, let's say one of your relative is tied on this track and 5 other people who are unknown to you, they are tied on this track. You have the lever, okay, on which track you will send the train. ये बहुत ही एक relative, it's not a moral dilemma, it's a moral tragedy, and UPSC will never ask such case studies. कभी नहीं पूछेगा. So, and even if UPSC somehow कुछ भरोसा नहीं है, if it asks such case studies, then any of the solution will be right. The marks will depend upon the kind of justifications that you people will give. Okay, so go. See, that accident question, it was directly related to social ethics and morality. Okay. Yes, I mean, you can write that, no, I will go for the interview. Okay. But for that, you must have proper justifications with you. Okay. But it can be suicidal. Because we have much knowledge with us, but I really doubt the knowledge level of those who are checking the paper. Okay, so we have to go as per the standards many times.
But in that question, a lot of things are implicit. Firstly, it's interview, so it's in Delhi. Obviously, he's on his way to interview, which means it's an urban area.
See, again, you have to concise yourself. You have to concise yourself within the information which has been provided in the case. You cannot hypothesize कि if this is there, then he would have been in Delhi or this. Okay. Extra information, never add that extra information. Got it? Heinz dilemma हो गया. Stages of moral development given by Lawrence Kohlberg. This thing is also done. Okay. Maybe UPSC won't ask a direct question on this, but these ideas can be used at many places. जैसे Maslow's need hierarchy था, similarly this thing is there. Now, what are the different factors which influence value development? And the first one which is mentioned in your syllabus is family. Now, family is often regarded as the first agency of socialization, or one can say first informal agency of socialization. Okay, like in the starting 10 years, most of the time is spent in family environment only. Okay, like the kind of, who are the players in family? Your parents. Okay, the kind of relation child share with his parents, that thing is very important. Okay, many studies have also been conducted in this regard, like orphanage studies. Okay, children who have spent their first 10 years in an orphanage and those who have spent this time with their parents, their behavior was studied, and it was found that the children who have spent the time with their families, their parents, they are more emotionally stable. Okay, they are more confident in nature. Okay, they are more responsive. They are more comfortable with the opposite sex. ये सब studies में आया था. Orphanage studies बोलते हैं इनको. You don't have to be very specific in this regard. You can simply write orphanage studies. Okay, so children who spend their time with family, confident, responsive, emotionally stable. Okay, same, one more type of studies are there, contact comfort studies. Contact comfort क्या है? Mother monkey and mother kangaroo. Okay, their behavior was see. क्या होता है? टमी पे वो टच होता है प्रॉपर. They carry their babies on their tummies only. Okay, what happened because of this? Child gets a sense of security of environment. Okay, and again it was shown that those baby monkeys who got this contact comfort, they were more confident. They showed leadership qualities. They were able to explore more things. And those who were not provided this facility, they were more aggressive in nature. They were more uncertain in nature. बच्चों के साथ भी यही होगा. Mother's touch is very important for a child. From that touch only he gets the sense of security. And when only security is there, he will try to explore the world. Okay, so contact comfort studies you can write. The third perspective which is very important is CRPs. What are CRPs? Child rearing practices. Now basically, though three types are there, but we will discuss only two: democratic and authoritarian CRPs. Contact comfort studies. Now, what child rearing practices? The way children are reared. इंडिया में कौन सा फॉलो होता है? अथॉरिटेरियन, विलन फादर होता है. Okay, and a child who has gone through this authoritarian CRP, what kind of values he will develop? जिसकी लाठी उसकी भैंस टाइप वाला जो फॉर्मूला होता है ना, that authority must be shown, hierarchies must be maintained. Okay, we should dominate other people. There should be no consultation, no participation, no empathy is there for others' feelings. Okay, people become more stubborn in nature. आ रही बात समझ में? But those who go through this democratic CRP, they will be more consultative in nature. They will be more responsive. They will be more participative. होगा कि नहीं होगा? So CRPs are very important. Then another factor that you can add is observation learning. Children observe the behavior of their parents and other relatives in family. क्या बोला था? Observation learning. Children observe the behavior of their parents and other relatives. Observation learning होता है certainly. Child sees the way mother and father will behave with the domestic help. Okay, let's say that domestic help, she belongs to a particular community, or let's say she is black, relatively black. We are all black. Okay, so what will happen? क्या होगा? क्या होता है भाई? Over generalizations. The child will see that a black guy has been was scolded by my parent. From there he will start believing that these black people, they must be scolded. Okay, and from there he will make another generalization that because they are inferior, they must be dominated. And then the same formula will be implemented on all black people. Okay, so observation learning, like in Europe, in US, some of my friends are there. So they never fight in front of their children. Basically this norm is followed, that even some huge fights are there, but they will not do it in front of children. इंडिया में तो रूम ही एक होता है. So चल रही है बच्चे के आगे सब कुछ. Observation, I mean observation skills are huge. They are really strong among children. Many times children in India, आप देखेंगे छोटे छोटे बच्चे, they are abusing. They don't even know the meaning of the terms that they are uttering. From where they have learned these things? From their family only, parents only. Okay. So जो imitation वाला stage आता है, especially 5 or 6 years of age, they start imitating their parents. Okay. So observation learning is very important. Okay. You can give such examples. Like last year आया था वो अब्दुल कलाम जी का quote है कि 3 most important people in your life, mother, father and teacher. So there you can write these examples. Okay. So CRPs, observation learning. Another perspective that you can write is role models. Okay, see in observation learning, the child first of all observe the behavior of other people. But in case of role models, he directly imitate without even thinking. I will just do what my role model is doing. Okay, and I mean especially for children, the first role models that they have is their parents only. Okay, so they tends to behave like them. Like father, rowdy father is there. He is not. He's breaking all. He's jumping all red lights. तो बच्चा भी बिल्कुल वही अपना उसी पे रहेगा. Okay. So this thing is their role models. Then I gave you one example earlier, like business families and service class families. So the values will be inculcated. That perspective can also be added. Business families and service class families. Okay, so these points can be written here. Okay, like in Bhagavad Gita also this thing has been said that I mean in most cases we find that parents, they try to secure the future of their children. But this thing is completely wrong. Instead of trying to secure their future, they should try to build the character of their children. If the character is built, then the future will automatically get secured. It is given in Bhagavad Gita. जैसे धृतराष्ट्र ने क्या किया? He wanted the empire for his children. He wanted to secure their future. But क्या हुआ finally? It was all destruction because character was not there. Okay. One saying is also there in Hindi कि पूत सपूत तो क्यों धन साचे, पूत कपूत तो क्यों धन साचे. ये मीनिंग क्या है? He won't need the money. Okay, he will earn his own money, and if the child is bad, then also he will just destroy all the wealth that you have created. So why to save money for children? Okay. So देखो, when you will write examples, ये personal experiences, life वगैरह से लाओगे, then the evaluator will also get influenced. Okay, like in different regions, different sayings are there, so you can bring them from on the answer sheets.
Rationale becomes the reason why they say that more should be spent on education.
Yes, certainly, yes. And especially value education. अभी second जब वो educational institutions करेंगे, I will tell you.
I think the role of family in this observation, imitation and things that they impart. Another factor is also that the quantum of time the kids spend in the initial formative years. So let's say the total quantum of formative years, maximum time is spent with family.
Yes, that is.
After that, school.
Yes, that was the first thing I said, that maximum time, in the first 10 years, maximum time is spent with family only. Okay. Even when they go to school, then also majority of the time is with family. Okay, why there is value crisis? Even when, why, chalo value education में करेंगे that thing. Okay, just try 2-3 lines. A family is a social institution. A family is a social institution with a bond of common beliefs. Is a social institution with a bond of common beliefs, religion, customs, culture, language, and a way of life. It carries on the heritage and traditions. It carries on the heritage and traditions as legacy from earlier generation to the next generation. From earlier generation to the next generation. CRPs adopted by parents. CRPs adopted by parents shapes the personality of a child. Shapes the personality of a child both consciously and subconsciously. In fact, this question came. Subconscious learning is also there. The child even realizes this thing what he has learned. Okay, so both consciously and subconsciously. Then just 2 more 3 lines. It is from family. It is from family that that a child acquires self-knowledge, self-confidence, self-satisfaction, self-worth, and realize themselves as human beings competent to show kindness, generosity, compassion, tolerance, responsibility, and service to society. Okay, I mean in US, I mean why individualistic societies? इंडिया में क्यों कलेक्टिविज्म है? Again, parents live together. Okay, वहाँ पे पता ही नहीं है कि कहाँ है, मतलब सबसे ज्यादा कंफ्यूजन वो पेरेंट्स डे, वो मदर्स डे, फादर्स डे पर ही होता है उधर. Okay, पता ही नहीं है. Right, but India, right from the starting, they learn the idea of collectivism. Okay, rather than I, the concept of we is inculcated. Okay, so this is the role of family. Then next is role of educational institutions. What's the difference between literacy and education? What's the official definition of literacy in India?
any language, read and write.
With understanding. Okay, ability to read and write with understanding. Okay, and how it is different from education?
Wisdom,
Application. Okay. From data comes information. What is data? Unprocessed, you can say, a set of numbers and letters. When these numbers are organized, they become information. When this information is understood, it is interpreted, it becomes knowledge. And when knowledge is applied to decide what is right and wrong or what is appropriate in one's life, it becomes wisdom. Okay, and education is the application of knowledge. It is the understanding of things, and literacy is just acquisition of knowledge and information. So literacy is one of the tools of education. Literacy is a tool through which we become educated. In India, what we usually found? Uneducated literates. Uneducated literates. We're all literates हैं, but uneducated हैं. Okay. स्कूल क्या होता है? What is a school? Yes. Institution or what? देखो ये छोटे छोटे वर्ड हैं, ये प्रैक्टिस करा करो उनको डिफाइन करने का. Institution which खाली एजुकेशन देता है. टेम्पल ओहो.
For skills to acquire knowledge.
Okay. Okay, I mean multiple views can be there in this regard. Like once I met Stephen's principal, ex-principal, he said that a school is a place where you get what you want. School is a place where you get what you want. If you want education, you will get the thing. If you want friends, you will get it. If you want all the joy, all those things, that also you will get it. Okay, and a good school is that which provides maximum opportunities to a child, or maximum choices, you can say, maximum choices to a child. Okay, usko swimming सीखना है, so there should be a provision for swimming also. उसको horse riding सीखना है तो horse होना चाहिए house के अंदर, school के अंदर, and anything he wants to learn, everything should be provided within the premises of school. Okay, so school is there. Now if you go to higher institutions, one can say that every institution has its own value structure. अब सारे कम्युनिस्ट जेएनयू से क्यों आते हैं? कुछ कम्युनिस्ट एयर है वहां पे. Okay, and it is right also to some extent. Okay, like it is often said that your youth is a waste if you doesn't have a communist ideology. Okay, you should be a communist till you're 30, but after 30 that communism should be converted into capitalism. Otherwise वही झोला लटका के बस में रह जाओगे. After 50 capitalism socialism में convert कर दो. So be a communist till 30, then 30 to 50 capitalist, and after 50 socialist.
There's a quote, one does not have a heart if he's not a socialist at 20. 35
Hmm.
and one does not have a brain if he's not a conservative or capitalist at 35.
Capitalist at 35, yes. Okay. तो जैसे इंडिया में वो आश्रम्स की बात होती है, मॉडर्न वेस्टर्न आइडियाज के हिसाब से आई थिंक दिस शुड बी द वे वी शुड फॉलो. Okay. So every education has its value system. Basically, this was the thing that I was discussing, was that every education institution has a particular value system, and the same is inculcated into children also. Okay. So education literacy, in fact, education policy of India way back in 1986, it also said that education is the most important tool through which values can be inculcated. Okay. In fact, last year CBSE has made an agreement with Ram Krishna Mission. Okay. Ram Krishna Mission, you know. Okay. So a thing is there that a 16-period program will be provided to the children from class 6th to 8th standard. The name of program is Awakened Citizens Program. Okay. So value education will be provided by Ram Krishna Mission in CBSE schools. Okay. Again, as I have told you, that this thing is important because once the value structure has been formed, it is very difficult to change it. So if you are trying to inculcate honesty in a corrupt person at the age of 30, it will be very difficult, almost impossible. Okay. चलो जस्ट 2-3 लाइनें लिख लो, इसमें कुछ खास नहीं है. एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस. एन एजुकेशन इज अ सिस्टमैटिक अटेम्प्ट. एन एजुकेशन इज अ सिस्टमैटिक अटेम्प्ट टुवर्ड्स ह्यूमन लर्निंग. The essence of good education, the essence of good education is to develop the human personality, in all its dimensions, like intellectual, physical, social, ethical and moral. The National Education Policy, 1986 calls for education in India to become a forceful tool for the cultivation of social and moral values through continuous cultivation of social and moral values through continuous readjustment of curriculum. Okay. But again, this thing is not happening. I mean, value education is not taken seriously in India. Okay. Name bhi dekho different names can be there. Like earlier, value education was called as moral instructions. As per government documents, the name was moral instructions. Then value education, and in 2005, in fact, another document was there which called it peace education. Okay. So don't get confused if this word peace education comes. Okay. Peace education is same as value education and moral instructions. Peace, by peace. Okay. But again, the problem is that rote memorization and all these things are there. Okay, like recently, अभी JNU में वो compulsory attendance वाला केस था. Okay, is it right or wrong? Logic दो. Give me the logic.
Like before doing that,
Hmm.
faculty and teachers, like even in DU classes don't happen.
नहीं, classes are happening in JNU. वो problem नहीं है.
Curricular.
Creative and free.
हाँ. Rather than enforcement through law, persuasion must be there. Okay. See, first of all, I told you that first of all, give me logic. Logic suggests, in fact, there is no formal study which shows that class attendance can increase the level of knowledge among students. I mean, just because if you force a person to sit in a class, it won't make it necessary that he will get that knowledge. In fact, it can create more ruckus in the class. More problems, more nuisance can be there in the class because of it. If a person is suppose if any one of you are disinterested, okay, your mind is somewhere else, then no matter whether you are sitting in this class or not, I mean, you won't be able to get the points that I am suggesting you. Okay, so there is no study regarding it. So instead of enforcing this thing, compulsory attendance, what should be done is that the classes should be made more innovative. Okay, like social media can be used in this regard, those flow charts, those use of technology, all these things can be there. Like different classes, open air, garden के अंदर classes चल रहा है. Okay, learning method, new learning methods, innovative approaches must be used. So if these things are there, then the students, the children, they themselves become motivated to come and join the classes. You cannot enforce this thing on children. Okay, so suppose a case is there in this regard, you can write these points. Age group की बात आता है. In the starting years, at primary level, this thing can be done to some extent, but not after. I think primary level के बाद भी कोई फायदा नहीं है. और यहाँ पे तो we are talking about post graduates, masters in fact. Okay, in fact PhD में भी they were saying कि compulsory attendance करेंगे. PhD में कहाँ attendance? Okay.
Is there any link between family and educational institutions?
हाँ, ये भी देखो एक हाँ link is there that there must be congruence between the things that child see in family and what he is learning in the school. Why? I mean, again, this is also one of the reasons for failure of value education. Child learns equality in school. When he comes back home, what he sees? Inequality in all aspects. जो एक servant master का जो relation है, एक husband wife का relation है, even his brother is dominating him, brother or sister, वो domination चल रहा है. Okay, in society, when he goes to society, again confusion is there, caste system, discrimination, all these things are happening. So a child becomes confused. Okay, he is not able to apply what he has learned in the school. Or that is why many people say that सब बेकार है. All these things are only good in books, but they have no practical application. Okay, so basically the role of family is to enforce the values that the child has learned in school. Okay, congruence आना चाहिए. Yes.
Any other unique features that distinguishes the family? The way
Fam-
the family inculcates values,
हाँ,
the way
yes.
education is
Comfort zone point you can write. Okay, the child is in his comfort zone when he is in family settings. Okay, and when that comfort, the idea of security is there, then the learning becomes very easy. Okay, but when he goes to the school, that competitive environment is there. Now he is all alone. Okay, I mean all the children are of same age group. Okay, वो bullying वगैरह भी होगा seniors के through. Okay, the things will become more competitive, so that comfort zone will not be present. Okay, here you can also write the point of peer group, or the impact, the influence of friends on a person. क्या influence होता है friends का? Why friends are so important? Especially adolescence के अंदर. Feedback mechanism is there, social comparison is there. Okay, we compare our behavior with the behavior of our peers, of our friends. करते हैं ना हम लोग? Adolescence में why, I mean, friends are very helpful in adolescence because they are also going through the same problems which you people are going through. Adolescence, it is the toughest period of human life. I mean, in psychology also this thing. I mean, it is the period in which the person is going through identity crisis. Now he is not a child और adult भी नहीं है. If he'll do something mature, उनको कहेंगे बच्चा है तो बच्चा रहे. And he do something childish, it will be said that now you have grown up. So that identity crisis there, those hormonal changes, all those problems, I mean all kind of internal, external troubles, fightings, all those things are going on. And in such scenario, it is your friend who will help you. Because दोनों एक साथ एक ही जगह एक ही problems face कर रहे हैं. Okay, so you can share your problems with your friends. And most of the bad habits are also learned in this period only. Smoking, I mean, you guys know very well this thing. Okay.
Also he said that
संगत की रंगत जिसको बोलते हैं. Okay, the color of friendship. हाँ.
like family inculcates more familiar ties and personal relations.
हाँ, yes, that point can also be कि वो एक शायद biased view देता है.
In a limited way.
In a limited, हाँ, मतलब एक specific है उनका. Okay, like in family setting, here the difference comes between religious ethics and secular ethics. Okay, like ethics of one particular religion, one particular culture will be taught in the family. But in case of school, more secular ethics and values will be inculcated in the child. Okay, so horizons, they are much widened in schools when compared with family. So that point can also be added. Okay, and then role of teacher you can also write, like after your parents, one of your teachers becomes your role model. Usually यही होता है. Like for me, my second role model was my physics teacher. बहुत authoritarian आदमी था. It is because of him only I took physics honors. Okay, so होता है, like you people have your own experiences, right? अब वो सोच रहे होगे आप लोग, तो सोचिएगा and try to apply also, try to use these examples in your answers. Okay, so peer group, role of teachers, role of extracurricular activities, all these things are there. Like every discipline, every subject teaches you certain values. Physics से क्या सीखते हैं आप? What you learn from physics? Sorry?
Working of the environment why it is
Principles of nature. वो तो content हो गया. I'm talking about the value part. Being empirical, being objective, being neutral, looking things from different perspectives, being tolerant to different ideas. These are the values that we learn from physics. Okay, so this thing is there in your booklet also. Okay, every subject has its own value, like extracurricular activities, teammanship, कोई different sports हैं, team sports वगैरह जो होते हैं उनमें आप ये सब सीखते हैं. Okay, like we have sports ethics. Okay, like how to behave in a team. Okay, what kind of values must be shown. Tolerance again must be there. Empathy, compassion. Okay, like the values. Like one more aspect can be added. Aristotle has talked about 3 types of friends. Aristotle, 3 types of friendship he has talked about. The first is friendship based on utility. certain friends have certain utility for you. Okay, because he comes in Mercedes, so it will be really good for me to become friends of this guy. Okay, utility. Then friendship based on pleasure based hai. Okay, this friend provides me pleasure, even though his character is not good, but pleasure is there, so he is my friend. Okay, and third kind of friendship is friendship based on character, and this is the best form of friendship as per Aristotle. Okay, so this perspective can also be added. Friendship based on utility, pleasure and character. Okay, so educational systems.
Hence, the comparison between family and educational institution can it also be said that family will be more concerned about the self-interest of the child, and the school will be more rational from a third-person perspective. The teacher will.
Oh, certainly. This family will provide a single perspective. Okay, school multiple perspectives will be there. The horizons are widened in case of schools. Okay. So this educational institution, this thing is done. Now the third very small point is socio-cultural factors. Socio-cultural factors. Just one line about it. Social factors, apart from educational institutions, social factors apart from educational institutions which contribute to the value system of an individual are religious, economic and political institutions in the society. Religious, economic and political institutions in the society. Okay, like how religion can impact a child watching Ramayana. हमारे टाइम में रामायणा आती थी, आप पोकेमोन वाले एज वाले हो शायद, नहीं, आई थिंक आप लोग नहीं हो, बट द प्रेजेंट जनरेशन, ओके, लाइक रामायणा वाज देयर, वही था सिर्फ, और देयर वाज नो अदर ऑप्शन फॉर अस. Okay, so certainly if Ramayana is watched, certainly we will inculcate those values only. Okay, that respect, that compassion, all those things will come. Okay, but presently, like all these cartoons, in fact, Pokemon, Doraemon, you will see that there is poor sensitivity to value system is there in all these cartoons. They are not taken into regard. That the child is behaving very badly with parents. All those tantrums are shown. Okay, like I told you earlier also, like all these cartoons, they enforce stereotypes and prejudice which are present in the environment. Okay, so these things happen. Religion, it plays a very, like वो हमारे लिए Lord Hanuman, Superman है हमारे. Okay, so certainly the value system will be learned. Okay, and again religion plays a very important role. बहुत अच्छा रोल प्ले करता है, especially in Indian family system. Okay, so religion. Then economic setup. Example दो economic setup का. Capitalist socialist society. Again capitalist society, merit, competitiveness, profit orientation, individualistic approach. These things, these values will be learned. Okay, in case of socialist society, equality, fairness, justice, these things are going to be there. Okay, politics, you know the standard of politics. Okay, if communalization is there in politics, then it will be there in society also. Okay, casteism, hierarchy in politics, dynastic politics is there, so the same thing you will find in society also, and it's a two-way process. Sorry?
Democratic and authoritarian politics.
हाँ, authoritarian polity, yes. But ये two-way है. Okay, even these institutions are influenced by what is happening in the society. Okay, like people deserve the kind of government they get. Okay, ये quote है एक, right? So this thing is there. I mean, in this you can write multiple points. And when we will discuss more things in later classes, you will get more material to write in these type of questions. Okay, बहुत simple है, बहुत generic topic है ये, right? Tell me anything else. I think this thing is clear. So with this, the first unit is done. Only one topic is left, that is teachings from the lives of great leaders, administrators. That I will do along with moral philosophy. Okay, so this first unit is done. Monday we'll start with the third unit, aptitude and foundational values for civil services. Thank you.